Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Relationship Communications Weekly Live. I'm Lisa DeToffel, your host today, and today we're going to be talking about how to be of service. Relationship Communications is a tactical and practical show that we do every week at the same time, every Friday morning at 10 a.m. So I hope you'll put this on your calendar and plan to join us every Friday morning at 10 a.m. If you are watching live, please comment and say hello and let me know where you're coming in from. I'd love to hear that. If you're watching this on the replay, of course, use hashtag replay. We are streaming on several different platforms. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, LinkedIn, different places. So if you are on YouTube, go ahead and click that subscribe button so that you will be notified every time that we do go live. Now, Relationship Communications is sponsored by Tiger Eye Solution. And at Tiger Eye Solution, we work with speakers, coaches, and solo professionals to help them grow their business. And we do this virtually. Tiger Eye Solution is a virtual assistant business. And we do this so they can be the CEO of their business and do what they love to do within their business. And so we do this again, virtually and in our online community. So before we dive into our topic today, I want to share a little bit with you about me. I know I did that last week and kind of shared a few events that happened in my personal life last week. But this was me about 4.5 years ago. I was a preschool teacher in a classroom, and I really enjoyed my time in the classroom with kids. I learned so much, probably just as much from them as they learned from me. However, I provided a service for them, and I got to know them, each one on a personal level, to help them as they started their education journey. Preschool, is 3 and 4-year-old children, right? Just as they are getting started in their education process. So now I have transitioned that into my business. Back in 2018, I did take a training program and learned how to become a virtual assistant. I am a virtual expert after completing that training program. And of course, hence, that is how Tiger Eye Solution was born. And relationship management and relationship building is such an important key piece in the professional world, no matter what type of business it is that you have. So if that is not something that you have implemented, relationship management and follow-up, and they kind of go hand in hand, those are some key pieces that you definitely want to implement as you're, again, getting started in 2023 to help your business grow. If you'd like to have a conversation around that, please reach out. I'd love to talk to you about that as well. And then as I also move forward, I wanted to provide more services for clients that Tiger Eye Solution worked with. So I did build myself a team in 2021. There's currently 10 virtual assistants on the Tiger Eye Solution team, and we all specialize in something different. So again, if you're interested in learning more about Tiger Eye Solution and what we can do, or what we do and how we help our clients help them grow their business, please reach out, and I'd love to have a conversation with you. Then, of course, this is my why. This is my family. My husband, Jeff, my 3 children, Caleb, Matthew, and Alyssa. Caleb is a firefighter. His wife is a special eds teacher in the local high school, and they are now new parents. I shared last week and in last week's weekly live that they actually made me a grandmother on January 25th, and they are now parents of twins, a boy and a girl. You'll hear more about them later as our weekly lives continue to move forward, I'm sure. Then Matthew is, he graduated college in, 2021 actually, and now works for Apple. And then my daughter is a sophomore in high school. So this is my family. This is my why. This is why I get up and do what I do every single day. I'm sure you have a why as well. If you don't, you need to definitely determine what your why is, as to why you do what you do, why you started your business in the first place, right? So, and again, if you are watching on various different channels, Please comment if you're watching this live. Let me know you're here. Say hello. Let me know where you're coming in from. I'd love to hear from you. And then if you are watching this later on the replay, use #replay. So today we're going to talk about how to be of service, okay? And as professionals and as entrepreneurs, being of service to our clients and our potential clients even is very, very important, okay? So as we move forward, make the information gathering easy. You know, when you start working with a new client, there may be certain information that you need from them, you know, important information, depending upon what it is you're doing for them. You know, you may use a secure platform such as LastPass. That's what TigerEye Solution uses to help secure important information from our clients. Now, your client may or may not need to actually sign up for an account in LastPass, but however, they still do need to share that important information with you, right? So in the beginning, don't, you know, suggest, okay, I need you to go sign up for LastPass so that you can share this important information with me so I can proceed with your work. Like I said, you know, they may or may not need that platform except for sharing information with you. But what you can do is ask them what's the best way they would like to share that information with you. Maybe it's over a phone call. Maybe they want to take a photo, you know, of their information, their debit card, you know, whatever it is that they need to share with you, and send it to you that way. Or I'm sure it wouldn't be an email, but some people would share that information in an email. But you can make suggestions of how that could be important. Or shared with you, that important information, and information that, you know, you don't want anyone else to see for sure. So if they share it over the phone or maybe send you a photo, you write that information down and then you go implement it into your LastPass application, right? If LastPass is what you use. I mean, there's others out there as well. I'm just using LastPass as an example. So do it in the best way that works for the client, right? Therefore, you know, like I said, it could be done over the phone. You know, have a phone conversation, let them share it with you there. You write it down while you're on the phone with them, read it back to them. Make sure you have it correct, okay, before moving forward. Also, they may send you a photo. If they send a photo, say, of their debit card or whatever the information is that they need to share with you. You also want to make sure it is correct before moving forward with that information. And then, like I said, after you've written it down, after you've gotten it from the client, then you go implement it into your LastPass where you know it will be safe and no one's going to find it or see it or anything like that, right? So this just makes it easier for your client and you're not making them jump through different hoops to actually share important information with you. So like I said, you know, you would have to share, you know, go download LastPass and you create an account in LastPass. And then, you know, it's a bunch of different things, right? Number one, they might not even know what LastPass is. And they may not have a use for it, you know, long term, that is. So LastPass may not be beneficial to them. So you want to make it easier on the client. And then you can go implement it where you need it to be. If LastPass is the platform you use, you go put it in there after you have collected that information from the client. Then you also don't want to use jargon. Okay, you may say, what is jargon? Oh my goodness. This can be an array of terms, I guess you could say, depending upon what industry you're in. Every industry has different jargon that they can use. Okay, like in my industry, I'm a virtual assistant, right? So with a new client, I may say, okay, to get your email campaign sent off, we need to download your list. We need to create a landing page. I think, you know, all that is kind of jargon that they may or may not understand to get their email campaign sent out. However, I can break it down into something that they understand, because you don't want to assume that your client knows exactly what you're talking about, because they may or may not. Like I said, if I'm doing an email campaign for someone and I start using all this jargon, it may confuse them. Like, okay, what does this mean? And what does that mean? Why do you need to go do this? Yeah, you don't want to confuse them, okay? So you definitely want to speak clearly and speak in terms that they're going to understand. So explain the process. Like, we're going to send this out to your list so they can sign up and get on your list, so that we can send the email campaign out, and they will get it every time you send out an email campaign. Something as simple as that. I do have notes if you see me looking down here. So like I said, you want to explain the process of what is going to take place as you go through the process of doing the work or the task that they have requested you to do, okay? And this will also help build trust between you and your client, because yes, you could use all these big terms, these jargon words, but if you take the time to break it down into terms and language that they can understand, that builds a lot of trust between you and your client, because that does take time. If you're talking to a colleague or a team member, if you have a team or something, yes, you can use all those jargon words because they're going to know exactly what you're talking about. So for Tiger Eye Solution, we do have a team. So if I'm talking to one of my team members about an email campaign that we're getting ready to create, yeah, I can use all those jargon words because they're going to understand it and know exactly what I'm saying. However, if I'm talking to the client and I start using all those jargon words, they're going to get so confused, okay? So I have to take the time to break it down and explain it in a different way. To kind of share an example, if you're, especially since we just came out of the holiday season, you go into a store and there may have a big sign on the window before you go into the store about something that's on sale, right? And it catches your eye as you go into the store. It's like, oh, I might need to get that. And then you go and you put it in your cart and you go to check out. But then when you check out, it rings up as a different price compared to the sale price you saw on the window as you entered the store, right? Then you ask someone that works there at the store about that. I saw, oh my goodness, this blanket was on sale for $20. But yet when I ring it up, it's ringing up for $50. Could you please tell me why? Because I wanted to get the, sale price of $20. And then they start saying, well, you have to download this and enter this code, download this app, enter this code in order to get the discounted price. That's not really solving your problem at that given moment, is it? And they're also kind of talking in jargon. You got to download such app. You got to get a specific code put into the app in order to get the discount on the blanket you're trying to purchase. And you're at the checkout at that very moment trying to purchase the blanket, and you're expecting to get it at the discounted price of $20 because that's what you saw in the window when you entered the store. It's a little confusing, right? Why would you have to jump through all those hoops of downloading the app, putting in a code, etc., just to get the sales price on the blanket you're trying to purchase? Doesn't make any sense, right? But that's the same thing that your client would go through if you try talking to them in jargon. They're not going to understand it at all. So also you want to be concise. So if you send out an email, you don't want to assume that, the client knows exactly what you're talking about. And the same thing goes back to our example. Or maybe in your email, they're asking for a specific form. Maybe they want a form with all the people that downloaded or got on the list from the email campaign, okay? You don't want to send them an email and say, okay, here it is. They don't know what it is. you want to explain, here is the list of people that signed up through your email campaign that you just sent out on February 1st. Even give them a date of when the email campaign was sent out. And these are all the people that signed up for XYZ through that email campaign that you sent out. Because if you just send them an email and say, okay, well, here it is, and there's the list of people, you send the list of people with it, they're going to say, okay, what is this and what's it for? They're not going to have a clue, right? So they need to know exactly what the it is. So you definitely need to break it down and say, here is the list of the people that signed up for XYZ through your email campaign that was sent out on February 1st. Then they're going to know exactly what you're talking about, right? Be certain to take the time to be clear on your wording when you're speaking to a prospect or a client, either one. If you're having a consultation call with a prospect, you want to make sure you're clear too on exactly, what it is your business does or how they can help that prospect solve X problem that they have, whatever that problem is. And you want to explain clearly how you and your company can help them solve that problem, right? In the long run, they will thank you for sure. And again, it's building that trust, know, like, and trust factor. And they'll be willing to refer others to you and possibly work with you on a long-term basis, or either come back and work with you again in the future if they have that same need that you just helped them with. And you are very clear and concise with your explanations of every task or every little step you took to complete the task that they asked you to do. Right? If you think about it, this is kind of like a mindset shift. Yes, in the virtual assistant world, since my business is virtual assistant, we have a lot of jargon. And there's a lot of jargon terms that we can use when we're talking about our business or certain things that we do for clients and things like that. But if you do the mindset shift and you're willing to look at it and consider your client's point of view when you're talking to a client or a prospect, right? Make sure that they're going to understand exactly what it is you're saying, that you're speaking in terms that they're going to understand clearly, or that is going to meet them where they are, or help them to understand that, yes, she can help me with XYZ. And whatever it is their problem is, they want to know that you have the solution to solve their problem. So you have to make that clear in that conversation, right? And, by doing this mindset shift, this is something that you could use long term, and it could become just second nature to you when you're talking to prospects and clients. Like I said, if you're talking to a team member, like myself, if I was talking to one of my team members, yes, I can use all those jargon terms because they're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. However, when I'm talking to a prospect or a client, if I use those same terms, they're going to get lost. They're not going to understand what I'm trying to do for them or how I'm trying to solve their problem. So I do need to do that mindset shift. Take the time to break it down into words that they're going to understand so that they will realize, yes, she can solve my problem of XYZ. Right? So be of service in the best way that you can. And if you have a different type of business, that's okay. You can look at this in the terms of your business, whatever it is that you do. I use my business for an example to kind of break down these points of view to help you be of service, but you can do the same in whatever industry that you're in. Okay. So again, thank you for watching our weekly live. I don't think we had anybody here live today. I did not see any comments. So if you or watching this on the replay later, use hashtag replay. Let me know where you're coming in from and give me your thoughts on being of service. Maybe how you would be of service in your specific business, because your business is not going to be the same as mine, right? So tell me how you could break it down and be of service and use more understanding terms when speaking to prospects and clients. I'll see you next week, same time, same place. Have a great weekend and a great week.